So everyone's getting very excited about Lost Ark at the moment because there are rumours circulating around that it is coming out around the 20th of January. But that isn't the biggest surprise that everyone is currently talking about. It's the fact that now the summoner has been removed from the roster and replaced with the most recent class to hit the KR servers, which is Sorceress. And I gotta say, this is a bit of a surprise because I thought we'd be chasing the tail of the Korean servers and just following along in a similar sort of patch update scheme. But no, it does look like we are getting bits and pieces of the most latest content. And this is absolutely huge because the classes in Lost Ark are absolutely huge with their own unique play styles and their different abilities, and you really own each one with their own specific identity. So if you are disappointed the fact that Summoner has disappeared and you really wanted to play a magic casting class, I've got some of the abilities from the Korean dev explanation that we can go through, and maybe it'll give you an alternative to play if you are thinking about it now. So the Sorceress, to no surprise, is a magic wielding badass. She comes along with 3 elements, and these are fire, lightning and ice. So as a standard, magic casters generally are a little bit squishy and usually have some sort of barrier mechanism, and this Sorceress is no exception on this front, with one of her main abilities being Mana Shield. And it is nothing really more exciting than that. It takes the mana instead of actual health. It's 240% of the damage to mana point as well. And basically it will last until you get down to 20% of your mana, and then the shield will disappear. Now, one of the cool things about Sorceress is the fact that she does have this tri-unity of different spell types. So as we said, fire, lightning and ice. And through the tripod system, which is basically a fancy way of giving your abilities a different spec and type, you can apply one of these elements to the same spell. So long story short, each spell can come in 3 different flavors. And the examples that they've given is the fact that there's a big AoE spell, and you can see that it's doing lightning damage, you can see that it's doing fire damage, and you can also see that it's doing ice damage. Now, as for the difference between the 3 different spell types, they all have their own individual different use cases. So fire is your destruction ability, and what's unique about this is the fact that it's able to break the parts off a boss. So one of the things, much like Monster Hunter, that certain bosses have weak areas on various limbs, and you can knock them off to basically de-equip the boss with a certain ability. And if you want to do that as a sorceress, then the fire abilities are what you want to be picking up. Now, the ice abilities didn't really come as a surprise to me, but they're all about controlling mobs, so slowing them down, freezing them in the spot, and then you're able to follow up with big damage abilities or clear them out with AoE, or just buy yourself a little bit of time. And the last one, which was lightning, and this is the one that caught me by surprise because I thought it would just be all about stunning the enemy or maybe doing big AoE damage, but this is actually about doing high stagger damage. And if you don't know what stagger is, basically on the boss there's a big purple bar. Once you knock it down, they go into like a staggering stance, and then you can do big damage to them while they are vulnerable. Now, it wouldn't be a Lost Ark character if they didn't have some sort of big unique move that comes with each of the class. The Sorceress is no exception to this. She has 2 abilities that we know of so far. One of them is a blink ability that allows you to just get out the way of the enemy. And the other one is a spell booster, which is, as it describes, it boosts your spells, it reduces the cast time, allows you to go crazy for a short period of time until the bar depletes. The last 2 abilities that were showcased are her awakening abilities, and these are kind of like your Mato Cannon-esque massive damage, nuke everything ability with a nice high cooldown. Now, the first one is a big meteor storm. She calls down fireballs or something from the sky and does AoE all around her. But my favorite is the lightning and the ice variant, which came second, and it just looks absolutely awesome with these giant blue lightning-esque beam flares coming down from the sky, and then just Yamatoing and a big nuclear kind of explosion around you. I still haven't read into why the summoner actually got swapped out, but what we got in exchange is absolutely awesome. I can already see this class being picked up and very, very popular because she just has so many pretty amazing flashy abilities, and when you're playing a game like this or just playing games in general, you want to feel and look like a badass, and she really just does tick all the boxes. This is the thing with Lost Ark, it has an incredible ability to just draw you back in and make you want to play a class that has been released, and they always look so cool and beautiful. Anyway, you can look forward to playing her, and I'll give you more details when I know of them, but until then, have a great week everyone. I'll be back with more news soon, and have a great day.